Hey yo, it's Brian here. Today, talking about the San Francisco 49ers. In this one, covering training camp just a little bit. Don't want to take too much away from this. I remember years ago, we had Jimmy Garoppolo threw like 5 interceptions in one session, which everybody, including myself, was a little worried. But at the end of the day, it was the Super Bowl year 2019. There wasn't too much to worry about, and plus, he was actually healthy all 16 games at that time. This year, looking a little bit more into the quarterback position as well, with Brock Purdy making his return after that horrific injury in the NFC Championship game. Also, you have a newcomer, Sam Darnold, coming from Carolina, my hometown team right there. Also, Trey Lance, who is trying to find his way with the 49ers after being drafted number 3 overall, being traded up. A lot of investments to get him in the first place a few years ago. A lot of intrigue in this training camp period. I can't wait to talk about this. I hope you guys are excited to listen to this and see what I have to say about this whole quarterback situation. Made a couple of videos a few months ago talking about this, and since training camp is underway, well beyond a few days from now, I think it's a good time to evaluate what's going on based on what I'm seeing from all the reports and everything like that. I hope you guys are having a great Monday. Nothing too crazy for me. Started the work week for everybody, including myself. But you know what? Football's coming up. This week, technically, is the Pro Football Hall of Fame game. I believe the Jets and Browns are playing, so we could see Aaron Rodgers maybe for like one little drive and just call it a day. That'd be fun, right, to see him in New York. Great things, great things. Football starting officially in September for the regular season, but hey, I guess football starts this week on Thursday, and we won't be bored anytime soon until the Super Bowl next year. All right, guys, let's get this started. But before I do, per usual, please like and subscribe. Much appreciative, as always. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for watching this all these whole time and commenting and everything like that. That is much appreciative. Let's get this started. 49ers, Sam Darnold, what I believe the quarterback situation in general. I want to mention him first because he is a Carolina guy. He played for the Panthers last year. For the most part, near the end of the season, he didn't play too bad at all. I know he has a history with turnovers and being injured and stuff like that in New York. In Carolina, he was actually not too bad. I mean, considering last year they had freaking Baker Mayfield. He was absolutely awful. PJ Walker, who wasn't great, but he was much better than Baker Mayfield and what he was in 2022. Darnold came in when everybody was hurt, led the team to a 4-2 record. Almost made it to the playoffs very last minute, but they lost to Tampa on New Year's Day and didn't qualify for the playoffs because Tampa won the division based on tiebreakers and stuff like that. That was a bummer right there because Sam, I want to see him succeed. Everybody wants to see him succeed as well, not just because he's with San Francisco, but he's had a lot of issues with teams that he's been on. The Jets, I mean, that was just a complete dysfunction. Right? He had Adam Gase. That was a fun time to be a New York Jets quarterback right there. Carolina, there was some dysfunctionality with Matt Rule and company, but he tried his best for the most part last year. I think he played really well. The game that really sticks out to me is the game against Seattle and Detroit, in my opinion. Those two games were fantastic. Detroit was trying to get to a playoff spot. For them to get a nice win over them, that's really good right there. There's some things to have some promise for. This is probably the first team that Darnold's been to that is actually a well-stable organization. You have a great coach in Kyle Shanahan. You have a great front office led by John Lynch and company. You have great players around you. You couldn't ask for a better situation if you're Sam Darnold. This is probably the perfect team for him to sign for. Unfortunately, he does have some competition for the backup spot. We're going to assume Brock Purdy is the number 1 quarterback coming into 2023, week 1 against Pittsburgh. Between him and Trey Lance, to be honest with you, I have no idea who has the edge. I'd say for the 49ers organization, they probably would try to give it to Trey Lance because all of those draft picks, they don't want the sunk cost fallacy, whatever they want, try to recoup their investment because that was a really big investment so far. It hasn't really worked out. Not all of it Trey's fault. He's had some injuries and stuff like that, but when you get injured, Jimmy Garoppolo had success last year, then he goes down. Brock Purdy has success, and then he goes down. This could be an opportunity for him to do something in training camp. I believe set in stone for week 1, minus any crazy circumstances. Brock should be the number 1 quarterback. Trey Lance, hopefully it's going to work out, but we can't have too many quarterbacks. You know what the saying is, if you have 2 quarterbacks, then you have no quarterbacks. That's what I believe in big time. They're going to have to commit to whichever quarterback they want for week 1. That's the answer that I already answered you guys. But anyways, Darnold, I think he's a really interesting case. I thought when they signed him a few months ago, I was like, whatever. You got Trey Lance. But so far, training camp, he's shown a lot of promise. You have some preseason games to look forward to. I think both Trey and Sam are going to be taking advantage of those preseason games. You really have to be honest with you, because this could be the job for the backup spot, third quarterback. If Lance can't beat out Sam Darnold for the backup spot, what's his position with the 49ers? But at the same time, we do have a quarterback injury history issue for the past few years. Might as well keep 3 quarterbacks. Can use them as a backup to the situation. Can't be too bad at all, but Trey, it has to hurt him that he's not the number 1 quarterback, which he honestly should be in terms of his draft position, but sometimes draft position doesn't matter in this case because Brock's played so well in 2022. His momentum momentum was keep going up and up and up until he got hurt in Philadelphia. And a lot of people, including myself, were believing that he's going to repeat or have some sort of success like he did last year in 2022 to 2023. It's going to be a really interesting case, but so far, all these quarterbacks have had their ups and downs in training camp. Brock hasn't really had a good training camp because he's coming off an injury. That's pretty normal right there. A lot of people might be freaking out about that, but personally, I'm not. I think he has to play a few preseason games, few drives to get him back in the groove of playing football, because that was a pretty horrific injury that he got against Philadelphia in that championship game. Sam Darnold, he has something to prove. Trey Lance, he definitely has something to prove. I'd say Sam Darnold has nothing to lose. Lance has everything to lose in this whole quarterback situation. We'll see what it leads to, but so far, leaning on Sam Darnold, playing really well, rooting for him. He did not too bad of a job in Carolina last year. I hope he gets an opportunity big time in San Francisco where it's a more stable organization. Trey Lance, I'm hoping the best for him as well because he's our top draft pick. I've been a big supporter of him since he got drafted. I know it was a little pricey to get him, but at the same time, I mean, when you have a project like him, sometimes it works out like Aaron Rodgers, sometimes it doesn't work out. That's a really fun situation, but we'll see what the 49ers do in the next few days. We'll see what these quarterbacks do in the next few days in training camp, also during the preseason. That's it, guys. Please let me know what you guys think about this whole quarterback situation with Sam Darnold and Trey Lance and company. Let me know in the comments below, definitely. If you guys like this, please like and subscribe. It's going to help me out a lot. I hope to catch you guys up this week when I talk more about the 49ers training camp, preseason, stuff like that. Bye, guys. Love y'all. I hope you have a great rest of your day, rest of your night. Go Niners all day.